Hello, hello. Today's shame story is still going to be another layer deeper into slowing down. And this one, it's no wonder that it's taking 3 videos to cover what I've learned about slowing down. I've been in this lesson for 3.5 years now, and some days it feels like I've made lots of progress, and some days it's like, why am I still learning this? Okay, and it's because it is so layered, y'all. Beautiful souls, my name is Lisa, and these are my shame stories, my experiences with shame, and how it kind of ties into the whole healing process. So today's story is really about receiving. This is the next layer. Once you have allowed yourself to slow down, you notice all of this uncomfortable stuff kind of coming up. In the last 2 videos, we've discussed how our worthiness is tied to what we're doing. So being able to get curious about that, where it came from, and you basically prove it untrue. You are worthy even if you're doing nothing. You're worthy just because you exist, period. That's the end of that story. Yet so often we think because we're not doing, we're not giving, that we're not worthy, we're not valuable. So that's the first layer that comes up when you start to slow down, is you feel like you're like a low-life piece of crap that doesn't deserve to be here. At least that's what I felt. And even if everybody around you is telling you that you're not these things, it's on such a deep level that you feel that. And that's part of when you slow down and you get curious about it and you start to kind of unravel it, it starts to loosen its grip on you. And layer after layer after layer after layer, you realize, hey, I actually realize I'm worthy. Then you're still trying to rest, and you see all the things that need to be done, and you're still trying to keep up with that. And so that was the layer that we talked about yesterday, where you feel like it's your fault for not taking on other people's responsibilities. And this one is really big with the overgivers. We give and we give and we give, and it kind of, what it does is if the overgiving, it takes away the responsibility of other people. If we're taking on their responsibilities thinking that we're giving them something or we're helping them, we're actually stunting their growth. We are not letting them face their own consequences that would teach them the lesson, right? We kind of get in the way of that. And whenever that was the fear, everything's gonna fall apart, being okay with that is such a big part of this. So that was the last 2 days. Today, and receiving, is after I untied my worth from my productivity, and after I stopped taking responsibility and became okay with, yes, some things are not going to look like the way that they used to. Things may fall apart. And if it does, it was probably meant to fall apart, because it's better than me falling apart. I need to be here and be okay to hold up my end of the responsibilities, right? Then comes where you may start asking for help, or maybe sometimes help will be coming to you. And that's what, how is your receiving game? How do you feel when somebody gives you a compliment? How do you feel when somebody opens the door for you? How do you feel when somebody gives you a gift and you haven't gotten them anything? And this is like, this is where I'm at now, is like learning how to receive. Because on a deeper level, for me, the belief here is like, if I need help, then I'm like not good enough, or I'm less than, or like I'm a burden, you know? I don't want to feel like a burden. That's the sensation that I get anytime somebody gives me something. And that's where I'm at now. And it's funny because the universe is like, here, have this, here, have this. And it's all these opportunities to sit with that. And it's this deep feeling of, I don't deserve it. Yet giving, no problem giving, right? Another interesting thought here is whenever we say, because I always say it, I have a hard time receiving, right? But I do not have a hard time, or in the past, I did not have a hard time receiving insults. I would take them and I would take them to heart, and I would be like, yes. So it's not that we can't receive, it's that what is it that we are open to receiving? Now, with all that said, here is like a practical situation, right, that pops up in life. So receiving help, right? They're like wanting my husband to cook dinner. Okay? Telling him, and he does it. Yet when he's cooking dinner, I feel like I'm not doing my part, or I need to go help, or like there's all this like resistance to just letting him do it. And within that is like the thing about, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. So it's like, how okay are you with them helping you in the way that they want to help you? Not saying that he cooks dinner wrong, but it's so funny because like you can ask for help, and then when the help comes in, and then you want to like be super critical or judgmental, like, no, you have to do it this way. Like, you've got to notice that, and you've got to become more okay with the help. It's not going to be the same way that you do it. It's going to be a different way, and that's okay. Now, then you can get into like weaponized incompetence sort of thing here, which is, you know, it is what that is. But with that, you just have to keep, you know, saying, hey, this is how it needs to be done. But it, like, really, how many rules do we have about things, like the way we put the dishes in the dishwasher, or the way that we want the pantry organized? You know, it could be done one of 1,000 ways, yet we're attached to this one specific way. So if you're feeling resistance towards how you're being helped, it's important to look at like your expectation. Like, if the job gets done, does it really matter how it got done? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but it's all stuff to get curious about. So being able to receive is a practice. If you're not used to it, if you feel guilt, not even guilt, it is shame whenever I receive. It's like, why do they think that of me if it's a compliment? Like, they're wrong, you know? Like, instead of just saying thank you and being like, oh wow. Or if somebody gives me something, it's like, I appreciate it, I really do. And at the same time, it's just this like, I don't deserve it, you know, I haven't worked hard enough for this, or, you know, whatever. There's a whole cocktail of thoughts, beliefs, emotions that arise. But that's another layer of being able to slow down, because if you can't receive the help, it's hard to slow down. If you constantly feel like you have to be, you know, doing everything. So that's some food for thought. Let me know how you receive